What do you find are the most important things to look for in a facility?
Well, after I find out what the potential residents' needs are, that's the main thing is care level.
Okay.
If they're needing more care, we have to find a community that can be able to handle the care needs that they need. There's different licenses in the state of Florida in assisted livings. There is a standard, there is an LNS, which is the limited nursing service, and there's an ECC, which is extended congregated care. So your loved one has to, if they need a little bit more care, we might have to elevate to the next license. So there's communities that handle that,
Okay.
because let's use an example of being a diabetic.
Mhm.
If they're a sliding scale diabetic, there has to be a nurse on staff to be able to check, the blood and to administer the insulin. That is a specific community. They can't just go into a standard community. So I have to really look at everything that they need, their care that they need, start from there. Money is also, budget is so
Right.
important. I know Rocky touched upon it. That's also something that will dictate where we can and cannot go. I want families to feel easy. You don't want to walk into a place that is so over your budget that you're almost uncomfortable. That I understand that. And when you call a community, you do not know what you're walking into. You do not know if the community's starting fees are at the top of your budget or maybe at the lower end of your budget, where that's what I do for you. I make those calls. I already know. I check the availability. So I am saving you time in making those calls and waiting for calls back. I send you all the information that I have for you to take a look at what we're discussing, so we know where your loved one's going to fall. And of course, I also look at a community citations. That's very important when I'm going to place somebody.
Okay.
We need to make sure that there's not any citations on the community that I'm placing you, because I'm only going to place a person where I would place my own loved one, where I would place my grandmother or grandfather. And I want everybody to know that I am just not going to say, here's one.
Yeah.
And I have one thing to add to that. Here's something that's extremely important: the food.
Yes.
It really is, because most of the communities and situations involve, feeding 3 times a day, and the quality of the food is extremely important, because a lot of times a senior might be giving up their kitchen or their normal process for eating. So we've had a lot of people want to have dinner there as part of the tour or lunch, just so they can make sure they like the food there.
It's funny the things that are very important to certain people.
Yeah.
And that's a big one.